love you, man. Sure. My goodness. Sister Cheryl, Sister Cheryl, Sister Cheryl. Are you with us, my queen?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, my queen. I was going to do a little something before we brought on you as our main speaker, but it doesn't look like the Most High has actually want us to do that tonight. So, Sister Cheryl Phoenix, you've been on my show several times now, sister. That's how much I love you, queen. I can close my eyes and know that literally you're going to give fire, you're going to give truth, you're going to give guidance, you're going to give inspiration at all times. But sister, for those of us who may not know you, sister, who is Cheryl Phoenix? What is the Black Child Agenda? And what is the African Child Agenda? It's your time now, sister.
Hi, thank you, Brother Andrew. You know, I've always got love and time for you, no matter what. So, yeah, I think you're the only person I've actually done a live for since I've been out here, to be fair, because it's just been that busy. So I am Cheryl Phoenix, founder of the Black Child Agenda, CIC, that's our UK arm. So tackling the schools to prison pipeline, there's an issue with, as we know, racism, the education system, Black children in the UK. I'm based in London, but cover the whole country. So since 2011 to date, I have been battling and challenging the unfair treatment of Black children in the education system. So I'm not an education lawyer, I'm an independent legal advocate. So what I did, I taught myself education law and some family law so that I could successfully challenge the system where our Black children are concerned. Because the disproportionate rate of exclusions, racism, and the list is just endless. I'm like, well, hold on a minute. These children are actually ending up on the streets and ending up in the hands of crime, et cetera, et cetera. So what I found, the common denominator was this happens whilst they're in this environment for 8 hours a day, being taught to hate themselves, being taught that white supremacy is the way forward, being taught their natural hair is wrong, being taught their Black skin is wrong. So that's what I do in the UK. And I've made quite a reputation for myself in being unapologetic in my approach and shutting down the nonsense and the foolishness and not being scared of the system, which Brother Abu did touch on earlier. It's like we have become so westernized that sometimes we fail to see that we are unique because we're different in the belly of the beast. And we keep trying to assimilate into a system that was never built for us, even though we kind of had a hand in building it. So that's what I do. And I still do that here whilst I'm in Ghana. Because of the lockdown, which has been kind of a great, I don't want to say blessing, as they say, for me. So I do all my work online. All of the hearings are online, the court cases are online. So that's been what's allowed me to be here in Ghana still. So at Christmas last year, I didn't want to celebrate Christmas. I never do. I'm the bar humbug of my family. And I said, I'm flying out. So we booked a ticket, came to Ghana on the 6th of January, 2021. And I'm still here 7 months later. And what it was that when we got here, my sons were here with me to get to see and to travel and eat and blah, blah, blah. And one of my greatest dreams was to open up a school of our own. And we tried it in the UK, and no matter what we did, how many people we had on the panel, all kinds of things, qualified, overqualified, every turn we turned, they shut us down, or they found a reason why we couldn't have that school or any establishment for us, by us, unapologetically. So I left that and continued to fight. When I got here, the lockdown came in again in January, and I had the choice. Do I go back to England and sit down in my house, in my new outhouse that I just built in my garden? Or do I stay here and actually fulfill some of the dreams that I've had and see how we can benefit our children in the UK and those here on the ground? So as you can see, I stayed, looking very sun-kissed. Thank you for the person that said that. Cook breakfast every day, and that's me. So I've been here, and where I was staying, because right now I'm in Accra. I've been in Accra for the last month because the Ministry of the Future, I'm trying to sort out. I've renewed my visa twice, and apparently you can only renew your visa twice, and even though I'm on a business visa. So either they're going to kick me out of the country at some point, or my ticket expires in December. So I'll be here even longer. Because the thing is, being here, I registered an NGO, the African Child Agenda. And that took 3 months to come through, but I'm glad. And I've also done just seeing what's going on in the local community, seeing the children, seeing how people are living, and seeing the opportunity. That's all I've seen. People here may see it as, oh my gosh, they're so impoverished. Oh my gosh, the system's not working. Oh my gosh, it's doom and gloom. For me, my eyes have lit up. I'm like, all the things we want to do in England, all the things we would love to do in England, all the things that we will be able to protect our children with, we have a blank canvas to do that here. And that's all I see here. So that is a little about me. That's a little about Black Child Agenda. I started the African Child Agenda for that. And I was thinking, what better name to have? So it's an NGO, and my main core is education, and that is in the sciences: science, technology, engineering, arts, maths, and also languages. Because my thing is, it's one thing to say that we're going to educate our children for ourselves, by ourselves, Pan-African curriculum, maths, English, blah, blah, blah. But unless we're training our children to actually be part of a global marketplace, to be able to go out and be competitors in this and not always begging people for jobs, then what's the point? There's no point. I can sit down at the beach and just tap on my laptop and drink champagne all day. So that is that's the reason why I started the NGO, and that's what I'm trying to work towards. So some of you may have seen a few videos of people with purple uniforms, which is purple is my favorite color, and the trousers in black. I used my own personal money, and I took on 50 children, 55, because there were some orphans in there as well. So I took on 55 children, and we asked one of the local schools out here if we could use their building. The buildings aren't the best looking, but that's irrelevant. And I kitted them all out in custom-made school uniforms, so they were sewn from scratch. I got the T-shirts, had them printed with the Phoenix Center of Excellence, specializing in STEAM. That's what it says on there, on the front and back. And we're doing right now, what the whole point was to get them started in the STEAM. But what I found, like this Saturday coming is going to be our 6-week trial, the end of the trial. And I wanted to trial it to see academically where the children are, emotionally where the children are, spiritually where the children are. And what I found was that 10-year-olds can't read or write, who are going through the school system are not reading, they're not writing, they're not memorizing stuff. So I'm like, right. So I went back out, I designed our own book, which is the Phoenix Center of Excellence exercise book. It looks quite cute, I must say. And it's got over 100 pages in it of maths, English, science, phonics, stories, picking colors, coloring in, notes, everything, and a word from I say king, because the Europeans came and renamed kings of Ghana in different places chiefs. No. Before then it was called kings. So I refer to all of them as kings of where their kingdoms are. So the king has supported what I'm doing and gave a nice forward. He's also a teacher in his time. I opened an office so that things could function. I now employ 9 staff members. So we have someone who cooks the children's lunch on a Saturday, because some of them don't get lunch. So they get
Sister Cheryl, 1 second. Sister, you can't be dropping these bombs on us like this there. Brothers and sisters, no. Cheryl, I don't want to stop your line of thought and thinking. Brothers and sisters, if you're feeling Sister Cheryl Phoenix right now, put some damn ones in that chat room. Put some damn ones in that platform. Let the sister know we are seeing God. We are seeing God at work, man. God is no spook. Yeah, he works through us. I'm seeing the work. Sister, you're dropping bombs. I'm just trying to keep up with you right now. And to know that you've just flown out there and you hit the floor running. You know, Brother Dr. Abu said earlier on, we need counseling. We do need counseling. But sister, you've just gone in there and you've shown the work that we can be doing. You understand, beloved? You're doing that counseling that Dr. Abu's talking about. You ain't going there with no privilege. You're getting your hands literally involved and moving. And you know what, beloved? You know, sister, I'm going to let you carry on in 1 second. Please, sister, please. Because, you know, I think Shaitan didn't want us to have this session today. because I had the videos of you and your. So you're saying it is one thing. I was going to show the audience today. You know I've got it, sister. I was going to show the works that you've done since you picked it. I've got the video. I've got the evidence. I've got the pictures. I've got the children in their uniforms. But you see, this kind of work, sister, must not be shown worldwide. And that's why I don't care what Shaitan says, man. I know that when I got Brother Nat on my side, Dr. Abu on my side, the Ministry of the Future on my side, I got Sister Cheryl Phoenix. We are going to be successful, brother. We're going to be the manifestation of the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey's words that I will come in my future generations. Sister Lick Shot from Babylon, Rice and Peas, Buffalo Soldier, and the Dreadlock Rasta. Carry on, my queen, carry on. I just had to get off my chest.
It's so funny. It's so funny because when I looked in the English, in the dictionary here for England, it's called Babylon. That's what they call us. They say you come from Babylon. And I'm like, what? Yeah, we do. But it's quite funny. But do you know what it was? Like, because I see a lot of works, and I'm not diminishing what anyone else does. But as you know me, when I see something needs to be done, and I've discussed it, and I was discussing it with myself, and I thought about it, I mapped it out in my mind, I tapped away on my laptop, I did a bit of research and looked, and I came out and I went through the town. And I goes, well, is all that's needed is this, and this, and this. Okay, that's cool. And I said to the king, I need an office. And he showed me, I don't know if I sent you that one, it was just rubble, and it was literally a box, pure rubble. And within 3 weeks, that was up as a beautiful, fully functioning office. I branded his stuff because what he was also doing out here as well is that he runs an apprenticeship program that he funds himself, because they're in his local community. Crime was on the rise because children were falling out of school, girls were getting pregnant, and they had nothing to do. So what he's done and what he continues to do is actually get them trained in a skill so that they can open up their own businesses or go and get a job. He still does that now. Over 250 young people in the last 2 years have gone through and continue to go through that program. And that's from being a seamstress, from doing hair and beauty, from installation of, I think it was Sky, from installation of solar panels, all different things. But because the money isn't there, there's only so much that can be done. But I'll come on to that. So for me, with regards to the school and the education side, like I said, I did the uniform, I did their own books, I went out and bought textbooks, in this usual English, maths, etc. But what I also found is that the curriculum here is based on the UK colonial curriculum. And I was like, oh God, what are we going to do?
God,
so let me see. Let's see, it's cool. Let's see what they're doing. Let's see where they're at, and we'll see how we will implement what needs to be implemented. So like I said, every week, some of these children, they get all of them, 61, because I've got 6 teachers who are teaching them, and it's 55 children. And I deliberately took 55 children and 6 teachers so that we can break up the classes so that they're getting more one-to-one support. So it's like a private school. So where they're missing anything, where they need help with their homework, if they've got special educational needs, I need to identify this and bring these children up to a particular level, and then we can bring in a new cohort of children and new teachers and start all over again and just keep going and going and going. Whilst that's happening, what I'm trying to do on the other side is fundraise for the actual main school building. So like I said, we want a school for STEAM. The sciences, the technologies, the engineering, the mathematics, the English, and the languages is very, very key. It's very key, because my main thing is, if our children are not competing, like, look at Raheem Sterling. Look, we can take the football. Look at all the black players. Look at anything we put our children through. Look at Weiler. Anything you feed into these babies, they will take it and they're running with it. So if right now the Bangladeshis, Pakistanis, and all these people are mastering the science, technologies, engineering, and even our own food and our own sciences, then why is it that we can't teach them that? Why is it that we, who come from Babylon, and I'll be honest with you, seem to know a lot more about our history and culture than a lot of the people that are here? I'm being honest. And it's not being disrespectful. It is the truth. Because I remember being in my office and speaking to the teachers and some of the people that live in the town and villages where we are. And I was asking them, do you know Marcus Garvey? No. Malcolm X? No. Harriet Tubman? No. And I was like, what? How come you lot are here? And then when I started discussing about our journey as Caribbeans, our journeys as Black British, our journeys in the education system, in the workplace, they were like, oh, we thought that you guys just arrived there and you guys are very privileged. Because to an extent, we've got a lot that we've learned from being in the UK. We've got a lot we've learned from being in the education system, and what suits us, we can bring that now and impart that with you guys. Because they always say, we come from a system that works. We can't compare the two. And I'm like, we make the system work for us. The system doesn't work for us. The system just works for those in the masses. So it is at the same time of educating them about who we are as Africans who have been missing from this continent, as well as still trying to bring what does work for us, like the Weilers and the other organizations, and us as adults who've been through the process, and say, look, this is what works, and we're going to put all this together and impart it onto our children and within the community. So that's what I'm doing. But what I also found is that education in Ghana is now free. However, if you see the state of the buildings that they say that they're educating our children in, you absolutely throw up on the floor. It is diabolical. Nonetheless, I still use one of those buildings. But a lot of children don't go to school. And I was like, but why? Because the parents can't afford the books. The parents, like the curriculum books, the parents can't afford their school uniforms. And the government is supposed to pay schools to make sure children eat during the day. Most of the schools out here are not being sent that money to make sure children eat. So remember before I said a lot of the children are not, can't read or write. They can't read or write probably because they're so hungry, they can't concentrate. So with that, I started a feeding program, because it's like, you can't go to school on an empty belly and be able to concentrate. So I now feed over 500 children a week with breakfast. So when they're on their way to school at 6 o'clock in the morning, they get food. So we have a team of 4 people who cook them porridge and whatever it is that they eat, bread and Milo, which we call Milo, and all of those things. They're out there 6 a.m. when the children are walking to school. They put it in a little bag. They eat their breakfast. They go to school. So we'll be getting feedback again this Saturday to find out how they are performing academically, if having a breakfast in the morning is actually doing something with regards to their academics and their concentration. So that's what I've also been doing as well, because I don't understand how anyone can sit down for a whole day without anything to eat. It makes no sense to me. It's not right. It's not fair. So that's also what I'm doing, as well as the school. So yeah, that's what the African Child Agenda is doing. Trying to just make a difference. Here in Accra, it's not so bad, but in the villages and towns, and we all know where they classify as the ghetto is where some of the rawest talent is that gets missed just because they don't have money. So our £20, our £10 goes so far here. The fact that I'm personally funding what's going on right now shows you, and I've been doing it for the last 8 weeks, shows you that it's very easy. Could you imagine if 20 of us were funding something like that? We'll build a school in no time. No time.
Can I just say, sister? I mean, what you're saying and what you're doing is resonating in my heart so much right now, sister, because, you know, we can learn from others who are quote unquote successful. And, you know, the Honourable Minister Louis Farrakhan says sometimes we as the people, Black people in the Western Hemisphere, we're the richest slaves on earth. And our slavery is not based on necessarily money. It's just how we use our money. We're so busy giving our money back to the same people who's put us in this condition, rather than thinking, you know what? We've got the expertise. We've got the economics. We've got people in some powerful places that if we start just redirect those finances, like, and I'll say this, we are building, as you know, we're building several schools over here in terms of the Weiler, East Side, and we've got various other Young Leaders Academy. But I'm saying to the brothers in the UK that if you just put £10, £5 a month into an education fund, whether it's West Side Young Leaders Academy, it could be Manhood Academy. There's various other academies that are going on. Brothers who are coming from the street who are re-educating and reshaping our people. Put £5 or £10 a month and say, you know what? My child might not go to your school, but you know what? This is what I'm giving as my income tax, my corporation tax to the nation. Yeah? To us as a nation of people. Because with that thinking, what can we do in shaping the narrative of our youth towards Africa? So literally, we need to build a fund. We need a building fund, brothers and sisters, that, yes, direct that finances here in the UK, but also a building fund simultaneously that we can give to people like Sister Cheryl. So we're building a board too, man, because I'm telling you, man, we're here to leave a legacy, whether we know it or not. And we're going to ask ourselves, what is the legacy? I know when I look at Brother Dr. Abu, because, you know, the show's dedicated to him today. Whether he's here or not, he's left a legacy already. Simple. Doesn't have to say anything more. He's left a legacy. But when he goes on and he goes through a transition to another form of reality, he can look back and say, you know what? My people are left with that. Galaxy wasn't here before I came here. And that's serving my people, my mission and my destiny, so that his grandchildren can say, you know what? I didn't meet my, not grandchildren, but great-great-great-great-grandchildren may say, I never met my great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, but you see this? That's his legacy. That's what I know he stood for. And likewise with yourself, Sister Cheryl. I'm telling you, sister, you are born with the DNA of legacy building. And all we've got to do is just put this jigsaw together. And I'm telling you, sister, it's going to be serious. So, sister, just very quickly, my queen, because I'm loving the vibrations from you tonight, sister. With the Black Child Agenda, let's go back to the UK for now. With the Black Child Agenda, what's the direction for the Black Child Agenda at this present time? What's your focus with the Black Child Agenda in the UK? Are you still pushing that? Or is it taking a sidestep? Talk to us, sister.
I am. I'm still doing work. I'm still in court like twice a week. I'm still advocating every day. I work relentlessly on the Black Child Agenda from here, doing the same thing I was doing in London, which is why I didn't leave. Why I didn't leave here, because I'm still doing the same work. The only thing is that you probably don't see me on Facebook, because Facebook has now want me, hold on a minute, they want me to send my personal ID, driving license or passport for Fastbook. So they've banned my account right now, as usual. So yeah. I'm still doing the Black Child Agenda. Yeah, I'm still doing the Black Child Agenda, still doing all the work. Nothing's changed there. But because I'm here on the ground and trying to get things up and running, that's why you don't really see much besides a lot of the stuff that's going on with the African side of things. But the same nonsense, I see what's going on with regards to the school, the bullying with the white girl and the young black girl, which happens constantly, and our children are labeled violent, aggressive. I see the fact that our young boys are suffering with meltdowns and mental health and being permanently excluded, smashing their heads against the wall. I see the fact that our girls at 12 and 13 are self-harming, taking razors and cutting their wrists because they need support and attention, but they're not giving it, they're over-sexualized. I see the fact that they're teaching our 4-year-olds about how to masturbate, and same-sex relationships are okay at 4. So I'm still there working in the background. I'm looking through a lot of new legislation that's coming in by way of education. And for me, that's the reason why I haven't come back to England, because the legislation that's coming in by way of education for your children in these English schools, if I had a child, they wouldn't go to school there. McGunn, I'll get on a flight and I'm coming out of there, which is why that's the school that I'm building here is going to be an international school. It's not just a school for here. It has to be an international school because our children need that release. Mental health amongst Black children right now is going through the roof. The forced vaccination program that they're trying to push in schools is like, I've got parents crumbling. So my only thing is like, you've got to go. You cannot stay in the belly of the beast and accept what's happening. They're trying to actually stop parents homeschooling. They're tricking parents into signing contracts, signing forms. that are not, they don't have to sign, they're not relevant for our children, any children, but they're pushing, threatening parents with court if they don't sign, if they don't send their children to court, to school. So all of these things are still going on. None of what's going on right now is new, not one shred of it. They're just adapting the law. So these are the things I've been talking about for the last 10 years. And it's all they're doing now is using this this madness to actually implement it. And a lot of the laws they couldn't implement before are now coming in under the guise of COVID, of our health and safety. So, you know, you pick until you pick. We need to work out how we're going to have an exit strategy. If we don't want to leave as the adults, at least have a safe space for our children to go to. It doesn't have to be here in Ghana. It could be anywhere on the continent or in the Caribbean. But we have to, like you said, build a legacy somewhere other than in the belly of the beast, because the beast has a plan. They've been planning since they met with us. They've got the plan. They're executing that plan right now. So if we can't see that that plan is being carefully, strategically executed, then there's a problem. Private prisons, private NHS, everything is going to be privatized. You will have to pay. There'll be no longer there's no, legal aid for education law. There will be no legal aid for criminal law. That's phased, almost gone. So if your child gets in trouble, which if they've been permanently excluded for something that wasn't their fault and they're being groomed into gang lifestyle, they will be permanently excluded. They will be arrested. So you're going to need a criminal lawyer. It will get to the point where a lot of these criminal lawyers will not be working for free. A lot of the ones I have on my team who work with me do that pro bono. But if you really and realistic look at how much it will cost to send your child to, or your teenager through the court system, you're looking at least £500,000. How many of us have got £500,000? We don't have that kind of money right now. So if we're not actually taking this thing seriously and thinking, right, okay, what is the strategy? Don't wait until your child gets to 14, 15, 16 when they are a challenge. I have 3 sons, so I know exactly how challenging boys and children can be, but that's part and parcel of what children do. But now the criminalization element of our Black children is going to go through the roof. And unless you're on top of what's going on by way of crime, education, and the law, human rights legislation, you're in trouble. If you've got garden court chambers and a lot of these big QCs and barristers worried for us as a community, then if we're not worried, then there's a problem.
So, Cheryl, two quick things. In fact, before I come back to you, Cheryl, Dr. Abu, is there anything over the last half hour talking to Sister Cheryl? Is there anything that you'd like to say, sir? Anything you'd like us to reflect on?
Well, I just want to rise her up, you know.
Absolutely.
Just want to rise her up because she's well within that agricultural concept. Believe me, you know, the seed that she planting. You know,
come on.
The seed that she planting, you know, you can see the real African woman in that sister. Because she go right back to the garden. She will go right back to the cultivation. And it's up to us, the man, to put fence around the garden and protect it. Simple as that. Because she have done the work, you know? She have done the work in such a way that Sunday night, we witness the commercial happiness.
Come on.
You understand? And I know that winning the European Cup was not important to the British people. That wasn't important. What was important to the English people or the English government is to keep African people in a docile stage. They couldn't afford those boys to bring them victory, because if it bring them victory, they would have to answer to the reparation. They would have to answer to Sister Phoenix. They would have to answer to us in a more superior than an inferior way. So they keep them right there. So we have to be careful.
Whoa.
Avoid the commercial happiness.
Brothers and sisters, Dr. Abu just touched on something. You know, brothers and sisters, inside I'm fired up. Inside of myself, I'm fired up, brothers and sisters, because next week's show, brothers and sisters, next week's show, I had to do some changing around of the order. Next week's show, we're gonna deal with sport, African politics, and nationalization. Here next week, that's gonna be the theme. And brothers, I've got some bad boys that are gonna be on the show next week. We're gonna. Dr. Abu took it there. I wasn't gonna say it yet, but Dr. Abu pushed the subject matter that way. Okay, brothers and sisters, next week we're gonna be doing a whole show around the Euros and what are the ramifications. You know, we see a lot of our children wearing the England top now, and they're screaming out England, England, England. Are we buying into a dream that's not really for us? I knew that when I was growing up, brothers and sisters, the England flag was the side of the national front. That was always in my mind, and it kept me on my toes. And now I'm seeing our young children, black children, with England flags. I've seen black parents with England flags driving in their car. I'm not going to cuss. I'm saying we need to have a proper discussion on this next week. I think like the Matrix, the blue pill and the red pill. You know, understand this, brothers, and then I'll break this down more next week, okay, brothers and sisters. But next week's show, I wish I could share my screen. Next week's show, Dr. Abu's taking a stare right now. Next week's show, brothers and sisters, I've got some of the baddest people. I've got Mr. Troy Townsend, who is the manager, the head of Kick It Out. You see him, I've got videos of him with Gareth Southgate just before the Euros. He's up there with Bonds. Let's see what he's saying. He represents that Kick It Out mentality, okay, brothers and sisters. I've got Troy Townsend, the manager of Kick It Out, the head of Kick It Out. I have got Michael Johnson, who is the under-21 manager of the England team. The England team that we're talking about. He is the under-21 coach for the England team and past professional football player. He's going to be on this platform next week. I've also got, listen to me now, we can't do it with the Kings without having the Queens with us. I've also got Eartha Pond. If you don't know Eartha Pond, go and look her up right now. Ex-Tottenham Hotspurs player, ex-Arsenal player, ex-Chelsea player, and she played for St. Lucia national team, okay? And she's now a counsellor in West London and runs her own charity. She is going to be on the show next week. We are going to bust this whole Euro situation apart because it's made race and politics number one on the front. And don't forget, I don't know if any of you saw the Sun newspaper today. The Sun newspaper, the headline on the Sun newspaper, it showed the black players and it said, don't worry, we've got your back. That is the Sun. Now, brothers and sisters, oh my, Cheryl, stop laughing. Cheryl, I will ban you from my platform. Stop laughing, sister. If the Sun newspaper says, don't worry, we've got your back. I'm saying, sister and brothers, is that a good sign? Should we feel safe as African people once the Sun newspaper says to us, don't worry, blackies, we've got your back? Lord gosh, I don't know. Brother Nat, unmute yourself, King. Unmute yourself, King. Brother Nat, the Sun newspaper says we don't have to worry. They got our back, brother. What do you say back to that?
I was just about to type in the chat desperation. You see now, you touched on it. There's distraction, and something Dr. Abu didn't mention, which he's said quite a few times, is the colonial virus. You see, that it's a sign. It's a good sign, in my opinion, because it's showing how much, which some of us have always known, they need us. They couldn't have got this far without us. And if they had 10, not even 10, if they had the one sister Cheryl Phoenix, their whole education system would be fixed for us and them. But they do a lot of cutting their nose to spite their face. I mean, but anyway, I just want to rise up in just sitting here. I've just been like this, listening in and realizing how much we are connecting the dots. And knowing my fellow brother Jaminia, he was out in Ghana last year doing similar works. And now all I think of is, Dr. Abu just said, we need our men to step up. Brother Jaminia is out of, it's connecting the dots. It can easily We just need to stay focused. Don't get distracted by the sun and focus need to do, which is nation building and freedom fighting. Pick where your strengths are and let's go. Let's go. You know?
Absolutely. Sister Cheryl Phoenix, I see that you wanted to come in.
No, I was gonna say, you know, where your brother just said that with the education system is working perfectly.
It's working perfectly.
Perfectly. It's not designed for us to do well, which is why for me it's like, let me take my babies. Give me the children. If you see me in the village, I don't want to work with none of the adults. Bring the children. And it's like, bring all the kids, because that system is perfectly designed. And unless we start really thinking deeply on another level of how we're going to strategically make sure that we build, it's not just a case of coming to Ghana and like, don't get me wrong, when I first came in January, I was sitting down, I was out every week. I'm sure you guys must have seen my posts, posting up cocktails, posting up food, lounging. I had a great time because I was here for a holiday and I needed the break. But then once I got bored of that, you can only do that for so long. I'm like, hold on a minute, I've got an opportunity here. I've got a real opportunity here to actually just jump in feet first. If it goes wrong, I've got myself to blame, and actually make this thing happen. And that's exactly what I've been doing and try to continue to do. And it's not just building a school. What else needs to be there? One thing I've noticed that most of the reading material out here is based around religion. It's based around the Christian religion. It's based around white Jesus. It's based around the colonial mindset. It's based around, like, when I hear them say that if you see a black man and a white man fighting in the street, like literally brawling, they will come in and support the white man. They're not going to support their black brother. This is like, so when we're saying that we've got to retrain ourselves in England, we also have to bring that education right here on the continent, because the problem is also with our people right here on the continent. The colonial mindset is deeply ingrained that sometimes I'm blowing my mind with, how do you not see this? But small. I'm not going to try and take on the whole country. Retraining the mindset of our babies will be able to get us somewhere to do that. There's no point battling with the elders. Start with the babies, because they're going to keep it and they're going to keep going and they're going to keep going. They will be learning about Marcus Garvey. They will be learning about Malcolm X. They will be learning about Harriet Tubman. They will be learning about the ride or die brothers and sisters who are still living today in London, in America, right here on the continent as well. Because there's no point talking about one thing when every Sunday they're there and being programmed. And even after the first day at my school, they said, let us go into prayer. And I was like, no, we don't do that here. We don't do that. The only thing you're allowed to do is positive affirmations, talking about them believing in themselves. They do that too much. And it's not that I'm disrespecting anybody's religion. Everyone's entitled to that. But the problem I see, the strangulation of this continent, has been the colonial religion that has been brought here, not what we were practicing before. And then the two do live hand in hand.
Can I just say, I want to make sure everyone understands clearly what the sister's saying. Because I know we have our Muslims, we have our Christians, we've got our Pan-Africanists, we've got our Hebrews,
everything
platform. But let me say this, I'm just talking especially to my Christian brothers and sisters and Cheryl, my Muslim brothers and sisters. One of the greatest manufacturer of white supremacy or white fragility, whatever term you want to use, is that image of praying to that white Jesus. Yeah, we have
to bust
that apart. We have to break that apart, because once we can't see ourselves as that image of divine and divinity, yeah, and with historical proof, then brothers and sisters, no matter what we say, if we still going to bed with that white Jesus above us, if our children are still seeing that white Jesus above us, that is such a powerful image. And even those of us, but in truth, Sister Cheryl, even those of us who've been trying to retrain our minds and try to unlearn what we have learned. And I know as a fact, if I came with the so-called Michelangelo picture of that European face, straight away in our minds, the first words is Jesus. Even if we know it's fake, and historically untrue, we know how brainwashed and how deep that psychology goes into us. And I'm saying, sister, we need to really start with our young people. I agree 100% with you, sister. Yeah, we are doing our best, but let's be honest, we are damaged goods to a degree. We are damaged goods. We are damaged. When I heard Dr. Abu say about, we've got to go through counselling. I don't argue with that point. Some people say got a problem with that. We've got to let go of the ego, man. We need counselling. We can't go over there like we're going to tell them what to do. We need counselling. But guess what, sister? Guess what? I personally believe there's a spiritual context to this too. And that, our journey in the West for 400 years was not in vanity. We have learned so much here in the UK and in America that we can go back there and aid our brothers. We know the beast better than them. We lived with the beast. We sat with the beast. We understand the history that was given to us and the destruction of our people in the motherland. We've got to go there, not as a big I, but we're going to go there as a unity of a we and start that rebuilding program. Come in, my sister, come in.
Yeah, that is it. This is why building, like, even when I see we need a library, I don't see anybody reading. Like, when I say anybody, I'm talking about the children. And a library will cost about $3,000 to build from scratch. I've been given the land. The beauty of all of this, what I'm talking about, is the land is there. The land is available. Bring it. And then and like I said, I don't want to be one of those preachy lot. Oh, I'm living in Africa and I'm sitting pretty. No. It's not about that. For me, if I'm here, then I have to develop a town. That means that I need to bring in infrastructure. So for me, we like certain things like our seasoning and blah, blah, blah. If I can get to open a shop, which I will do, but the school and the libraries first, the next phase will be opening a restaurant and a shop. With that restaurant and a shop, that way you're bringing business to the local community. You're employing the local community of those who live here. So that means that their economic structure then goes up. The only place I'll be getting our ingredients from will be people like Grace Foods, will be the Jamaicans, whoever it is that's Jamaican or Caribbean or African Caribbean from England, wherever you are, is who we will be bringing in our foods from. We won't be going, because right now what's going on, we see, as we know, the Chinese, the Lebanese, the Indians, tropical suns out here, you guys. I saw it in the shop today. I'm like, really? But nothing from us. None of our stuff is here. So that is what we will do. And then we duplicate the model, build in town, so that if any one of our kids, from whoever they are, wants to get on a plane, buy their self, so they don't have to come in their mum and dad and go somewhere. They know there's somewhere for them to live. They can do their shopping. There's food there. And you know what? It's for us, by us economics, because that money is going into the community that we're being part of, because you become part of that community. And then you make sure that in that community that you're developing. Because like we said, we've been given the skills from the UK. We have a lot of education. We've got a lot of skills. We've got a lot of business know-how. So it's just a case of sharing that with those that don't have as much, and then letting them see, look, ta-da! And then someone said, oh, what do you get out of it? What I get is to see that we're legacy building our children. Because when we dead and gone, even though I'm only 21 and you are all old, so you got all jump before me, when we are dead and gone, what can we say we left? What can, and that's all it is. I don't need my name up in lights. I want to be celebrated whilst I'm here right now. And at least when I'm dead and gone, those children can say, oh yeah, that's why someone said, do the name, Phoenix Center of Excellence. Absolutely, let's do that.
Leave your name.
With everything else that's there. So what I want Weiler to be coming here during the summertime, to come down to the beach and do camping and sit down with the kings and the chiefs and hear oral history, because that's what I've been doing. And everyone I've brought to the palace has just been like, wow. And when you see the children's faces, I posted one on my Instagram feed of the little boy that came, and his face was literally like, there's a whole king there next to me. And it's just so beautiful for our children to see themselves as royalty unapologetically. And that's my goal, to bring hundreds of our children out here so that they get to see that. They get to see who they are, not these ones with the flies on their face.
Sister, can I just come in 1 second? I think there's a phrase that you've trademarked in essence over the last year or two, and that is the word unapologetically. Yeah, you've been pushing that as a trade, as a logo, you know what I'm saying, as a brand of yours. And sister, this is where many of us are going wrong. Yeah, when we talk about so-called racism or whatever we may be going, we explain it from a point of view that it's not our fault that we're black. You know, why is it so hard? You know, black people have it so hard, but you know, it's just the color of my skin, and it's not my fault. Is that we apologize for being black? If you understand what I'm saying. No. Let me say this to brothers. We're gonna go into this more next week. Understand this. I cry when I see us on TV explain, talking about, oh, racism is wrong because it hurts me. You know, the things that you say to me on Facebook, it really upsets me and my children. You know what them people do? They laugh. They laugh because we are talking the language of emotions. They don't give a two hoots about our emotional content. Power. Come on, Dr. Abu. Come in anytime you want, King. Power respects power. And until we as a people become powerful spiritually, economically, and politically, they will do whatever they want to do with us, and they will give us sound clips of I'm disgusted by what took place in the Euro 20. That's sound clips. Yeah, that's what, for us to keep believing that they really do care about us. Brothers and sisters, that is what Cheryl Phoenix is doing. She is building power. What you see, what we're doing in the Westside Young Leaders Academy and various other things that we're doing that I don't talk about all the time, is about producing power. Yeah? We cannot speak the language of emotion. And we as a people, we're so emotional, but we lack substance. Yeah? We need to start creating substance whereby, you know what? Let me give you an example of what I mean, brothers and sisters. If our footballers decided tonight to say, you know what, we're going to stop the knee. But what we're going to do, we're going to stand up and put the black power fist in the air before every game. Watch and see how much they will support us. Watch and see the backlash they receive. See, it's okay going on your knee. That's like an apology. That's being subservient. But if you stand up like a man and stand up like a woman and put your fist in the air, then now you're talking about power. Yeah, it doesn't mean you hate anyone, but now you're standing with power and understanding you don't have to apologize for your African self, man. You are blessed to know who you are and to stand in who you are. Brother Nazur, is there anything you'd like to say, King? I know you've been patient there, brother. If you can unmute yourself, brother. If you want to say anything, is there anything you'd like to say based on this discussion, King?
Sure. I mean, I've been listening to Sister based in Ghana, but we haven't met. And it's a great platform that she's in the same space with me, but we haven't met yet. But this platform is now going to make us link up while she's in Ghana. MOF is passionate about education too. Since we opened the Diaspora Center on the Spinkters Road, I'm going to talk to team members, especially Dr. Mulana, about everybody else and what they do, but especially this sister who is on the ground. We're going to invite her over to the MOF office, and we're going to see the best we can do for her by way of her immigration issues, because she says she's got a very short time on her documentation. So we need to sort it out before immigration bothers her. But truth be told, nobody is ever going to ask her anything on the street of Ghana, only when she opens her mouth. That's one. But two, also because she's going against the grain. And so some people may begin to point her out to the authorities that be. And those people may be some of our own people who are agents, but they don't know that they are agents.
Yes.
And when she spoke about how we on the continent are damaged, I mean, it's so true. And you also spoke about that. It's so true. I mean, sometimes I can understand why people, when some of our brothers and sisters come home, somehow they're under the assumption because we are on the continent, we are untouched. Look, we have had our own fair share of damages mentally. And for me to be working with MOF now, I am born and bred in Ghana, even though I've been to the States and Europe and other places on the African continent also. I have lived in Ghana most of my life, so I have also been damaged and I'm still fixing myself. And one of the first reasons why I can be on this platform representing a brother who has been here from America for 40 years and is putting in the works, I'm talking about Dr. Mulana. The
Yes.
reason why I would be representing such a legend is because when I was younger, I was exposed a lot to reggae music.
Woo!
Reggae music.
Yes. Yes.
That has always been my source. I didn't know it when I
Yes.
was a boy. But now at my age, I now look back and think to myself, how did I take this path? Because it's not an average path.
Yes.
It turns out that it comes from reggae music.
Power.
Because I used to listen to reggae music as a boy, and I asked myself, why are these people always talking about Africa in their music, but they don't come from here? Like they're not with us here. Who are these people? And so by the time I had the opportunity to look into where reggae music came from and the artists that sang the songs, why Peter Tosh and Bob Marley and Joseph Hill and all these people will be singing about Africa, is because this is how they got to where they are. In other words, I'm trying to say that music helped me to be where I am, which is why I can relate to those of you who are on the other side, who are more exposed to the truth than those of us on the continent. You need to know this. Those of us on the continent, somehow, it depends, it's arguable, are sometimes more damaged than some of you out there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You got to know
Absolutely.
this. So
Absolutely.
those of us who are here, who are able to relate to you on this level, it's not ordinary, it's not by accident.
Mm.
Don't know about that.
Seriously.
So, I
Seriously.
mean, my sister in the central region of Ghana, we're going to link up. That's one of the comments I have. And I also will, well, I'll talk to you off air. So I won't say that. I'm talking about the video because I would like to show the video to Dr. Mulana, the
Yes.
interaction I had,
No worries. No worries, my king.
and
No worries.
also to invite anybody who is on a platform to visit the ministryofthefuture.com, the ministryofthefuture.com website, so that we can liaise and do things that will help our brothers and sisters to come home and not have issues with documentation. It doesn't necessarily have to be Ghana, but as it stands now, Ghana is the gateway.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so if you prefer other parts of Africa, maybe you can come in through Ghana and go wherever you want to go. But
Beautiful.
you'll be more recognized in Ghana because it's a national thing now to have the year of return in 2019. And then subsequently, we are trying to institutionalize the citizenship rights. The right to return has to be institutionalized. So it doesn't matter whether government changes or the government doesn't change. Once you set foot on this ground, whether by sea or by air, you are back home and nobody should ask you anything about who you are.
Brothers and sisters, you heard it from Brother Nazor. Listen, brothers and sisters, you know, this is so beautiful tonight. This is working operational. If you're feeling our brother from the ministry of the future, hear the term, ministry of the future. Put in the chat box right now, Sunny Banani or I see you. Sunny Banani or I see you. Let the brother know, Sunny Banani or I see you. Because now, brother, you're amongst your family here, brother. Nazar, I want you to understand this is your family here. Yeah? And we see the God inside of you, my soldier. We see the God inside of you. Sister Cheryl, coming back to you, man. Coming back to you, my queen. sister. So if you was to open up, not if, you want you're designing your school based on an international school, yeah. What does that mean to parents over there? Because they don't know the term international school. It sounds like an embassy. It sounds like something which is just foreign. It sounds like these are rich children domain. What does an international school actually represent? What does it mean? And can we be a part of this international school?
100%. That's part of the rationale behind it. Because there's no point trying to put a school building down in somebody else's village and not inviting the children that live there to attend. So the core is getting our children out of what's going on in the UK and retraining all of our mindsets and retraining our children's minds on who they are, what they are, and being able to do it peacefully, being able to do it without being, because I don't know if anyone's seen any of the videos I've done here compared to the videos I do in the UK. When I'm in the UK, it's like, because I'm so mad. But here, my videos are like, yeah, because this happened and blah, blah, blah. You know, you just see the difference in even my own attitude and behavior, and being able to, and getting our children to be able to embrace who they are, and getting our parents, and don't get me wrong, not all parents are going to be, I'm not sending my child to Africa. That's cool. Send them out for the summer camp, because we'll be here for summer and we'll be doing some amazing things. Send them for the summer camp, because one thing I'll guarantee you, they're not going to want to come back to Babylon. They don't want to. Why would you want your child to be in a system that is constantly fighting against them? Because we're not preparing them to go to war every morning when we're kissing them goodbye at that school gate. They're going into the battlefield and they're going in ill-prepared. So rather than deal with a battlefield, why not spend, like in the UK, to send your child to a private school is about anywhere from £15,000 a year, I believe.
Yeah.
Here to send your child to a private school starts from £5,000 for the year.
Look at that.
Just to give you an idea.
Yes.
So there you have it. You know, you weigh it up. Most parents are working. Most parents, and if you're not, now you've got the opportunity to. I've got retired teachers. I've got friends who are teachers who want to leave the UK. I've got friends who are mentors who love kids, and all DBS and all of the relevant checks are there. And they're also pushing what I'm doing here, because as soon as that school is set up, they're getting on a plane to come here, because the cost of living is brilliant.
I was going to ask you that. I know on this platform right now, we've got so many teachers that are in the system. Okay, sister, is there a need for some of these UK teachers to come out there and help you? Or would you prefer them not to come out and just support you from abroad?
No, we need the UK teachers out of there. Our teachers, our African Caribbean teachers from out there who have been trained, who know how to identify, especially with SEN, and who know certain protocols, because I don't see all of that here, except for in some of the private schools. But they are needed here. We do need them. Some of the skill set, and they're up to date with a lot of things. Some of the things that's particularly in the government schools that are here are not being implemented, or if they are, they're not being implemented properly. And just taking, and then coming out of this colonial way of educating is one thing that a lot of us we've been exposed to. Actually having the dialogue with our children, actually having debate clubs, actually telling them how amazing and great they are, not just sitting at a desk and doing 1, 2, 3, ABC. You know, there's just a different energy that we bring, and then we combine that with what's already here, and then we'll have something that's phenomenal. I'm not saying that as what here is not working, because we have some of the greatest leaders and lecturers in the world that have come through the education system here. But what I am saying is that what we can bring to the table and what's already here, could you imagine when that actually comes together and we start speaking properly? Do you understand? Can you see what this actually looks like when we start marrying those of us that were taken and we return, and those of us that are here who have been colonized and then we still return? That's fire completely.
So, sister, would you say it's important that if we bring our young people back to Ghana or Gambia or Sierra Leone, because they're the 3 areas I hear most about in terms of us rebuilding, is it important that our children see Black pilots, Black TVOs, Black royalty, black doctors, how does it affect the mind and the psychology of a black child? And how
Do you know it's so funny? Do you know it's so funny? That's all you see here. That's all you see. Everything is blackety black, 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 black. You watch the TV, everyone's black. The boys at teenage age, they're gonna be like, oh, my sons are like, Mum, look, look, look. I'm like, what? Like the girls, there's no size issues. Girls are big and beautiful, and they've got their hair shaved off. The boys are just respectful. No one passes you without Pacho, good morning. You understand? And they say, and that Pacho means please, good morning, madam. They say, and that's all you see is the black kings, the black doctors, the black lawyers, the black police officers, and girls, ladies. The police officers look so fine in their uniform.
Stop that talk, boy. No. Listen, Abu, stop her, Bridget, man. Chuck. Behave yourself, my queen.
Oh, gosh. It is a whole kind of stuff.
No.
Like, that's all they will. Listen, people have been trying to get me married off. They're trying to marry me off. Everyone's trying to marry me off to somebody. I'm like, hold on a minute. But there's so much. Like, our children, like I said, my friend's son who's here, his eyes were like out of his head. And that's the look I want our children to have on their faces, because it's like, wow. But the thing is, it's the norm. It is just the norm. It's no big deal. And just even going to the market, do you know what the funny thing is? Sorry, vegans and vegetarians, even seeing how things are killed and how your food is prepared, it doesn't come in a wrapper. You know, seeing that when it's just everything, the raw naturalness of being here. And because our children are raw and they are natural, and what we're implanting in them is so important. And if you're here, they're getting it raw and they're getting it natural. So this is what's important, as well as the academic side, because the academic side is here. You just need the right people to impart it and implant it in our children's minds. And it's exciting.
Can I just say as well, I think that many of us, especially those of us who are black parents, especially in the UK I'm talking about, we overemphasize the academics without understanding the ability to network. So, because to me, what has got me to do what I'm doing today hasn't really been my exams. It's been the ability to meet people, to socialize with people, getting to know them, not being afraid to say who I am, and having that knowledge of self and self-confidence. Because many of us, we're pushing our children academically, but we don't make them appreciate that in life, what really makes you successful is knowing who you are, being able to deal with people, being able, as you say, not apologizing for being who you are. And I think that is so much missing today. How to show respect, how to shake someone's hand, how to say please, how to say madam, how to say sir. These are soft skills that if we overlook, our children can have so many exams, and guess what? They could look in that mirror and hate their reflection. They could hate their reflection and do nothing with it. So I personally believe that we've got to, and I think that experience has got to be so. Brothers and sisters, wow. Brothers and sisters, if you're feeling Sister Cheryl tonight, put in the chat room smelly. If you can smell my sister tonight in the success, put down the word smelly, man. Smelly smell. All I can smell is Africa coming from you, sister. All I can smell is vibes coming from you, sister. Absolute smelly, sister. My good. Brothers and sisters, if you like to, we don't normally do this, but I'm feeling the spirit tonight, brothers and sisters. If there's anyone on the platform, we've got nearly 400 of us on the platform today. If there's anyone that would like to say something to Dr. Abu or Sister Cheryl or our brother from the Ministry of please raise your hand. Please raise your hand, and I'm feeling generous today. I'm feeling very generous today. Dr. Abu, I love when you smile, brother. I'll pay you just to smile on my platform every week, sir. You got a fantastic smile, King.
You know the thing that I love about Sister Cheryl, right? She never get caught up in the 3C. Complain, comply, and compromise. You know, this is what they want us. We don't get caught up on that, you know, and I big her up all the time for that, you understand? And you see, we have to realize, we cannot put religion in front of the family. We can't put industry in front of the family. And we can't put politics in front of the family. If we do, we're going to be rest in peace.
Come on.
You understand?
Come on.
You know, so I'll tell you, you know, it lightened my heart to hear Sister Shanice, Sister Phoenix on the motherland.
Yes, sir.
Because I understand what she said. Africa to us, we don't go to Africa to protest. We are doing protest, yes, sir. We go to Africa to develop. This is what we do. That's why here in the West, I study African military science. I don't study political science because I have no use in that. And I could never take Western politics, democracy is European culture and aggression. How can I take European culture and aggression into Africa? Can't do that. You understand?
Can't do that.
So, Sister Phoenix, rise up all the time. Well, it's her respect. You know what I'm saying?
Sister Cheryl, you heard it from the man himself.
Stay put.
You heard it from the man himself.
I'm trying, my brother. I'm trying. I really am. I don't want to leave until the school is built, or at least the library.
It will
so
be.
That's it. I'm here. They're stuck with me. Unless they kick me out the country, they're stuck with me.
Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. And sister, in terms of what you see, what would you say, my queen, is the number one thing you'd like to say to Black parents here in the UK? I know you touched on a few things earlier on, but what is the number one advice or warning that you feel is very important that you can't leave this platform tonight without saying to Black parents?
With regards to the UK education system, like the main thing is I tell every parent to do before they even get to me. I always post it. Get a copy of your child's school file, because right now a lot of them are working on emotion and this happened or that happened, and you don't have what they claim is the evidence, because what they have around you and what they say your child is doing, and your child doesn't even need to be doing anything, compared to what you have, what you've sent to them, etc., is what you need to marry together. So you know that if there is a situation that does arise, has arisen, or you see coming, then you've got the information. Because what tends to happen a lot is that when you don't have the file and something goes wrong and you request the file, all of a sudden there's new information in that file that was never there before. Because when a parent has got the file prior to any issues, as soon as the issues came up, oh, boom, there's a lot of fresh information, which was all based on a lie. So always make sure that if you're sending your children in to the belly of the beast, that you make sure that and it sounds so bad to do, but you're telling them to literally go in, keep your head down and be quiet. Go in, keep your head down and be quiet. Because the unfortunate thing right now is racism within the education system is on the rise. It is on the rise. The amount of cases I've had in the last month has mostly been about racial incidents from teachers and also from other students where it's overlooked. So just be vigilant about it. If you want to, also look into flexi schooling. I am due to do another live, but I've got my assistant in here packing my stuff because I'm moving tomorrow morning back down to Winneba. Within the next couple of weeks, I will do a live just to give parents, because I know we're breaking up from school, but it's good just so you jot down what you need to do when your child is going into secondary school. If they've got an E8C plan, all of these things, you need to be on the ball and know what you're doing before it gets to the point that's too late. Don't be complacent thinking, I'm okay, my child's fine, they're doing academically well, they're not a naughty child. None of our children are naughty, and none of our children are badly behaved. Every single one of our children that find themselves in a situation shit is because something has happened and they've responded to it. How they've responded is neither here nor there. That's where we come in. We'll deal with that. If they did kick down somebody, there's a reason your child kicked down that little boy or little girl. So don't chastise them. There was something that led to it. So believe that first and listen to your children. where the system itself is concerned, why I'm building a school in Ghana, support that. That's all I can say, that because the system is not, it's not going to be getting any better. It's not. And I've been saying it for years, and it sounds doom and gloom, but it's just a fact, and it is the reality, and that I'm just speaking the truth.
All right, sister, you're fired today. Sister Missai. Sister Missai. Could you unmute yourself, Sister Missai? Can you unmute yourself if possible?
Brother Andrew, Sister Messiah, so just to quickly mention, we have to go to the chat because they've been organizing, our brothers and sisters on the chat have been organizing themselves in saying we need, it started off with like, we need to support. We can do that right now. Who's got the cash app for Sister Cheryl? Okay, everyone £10 each. We need to raise it on the platform. They've been organizing. And this is what I mean about us all being a piece to the puzzle. You see it? So they're talking about...
Come on, King.
Can you hear me?
Miss, who's that? Who's that speaking?
You unmuted me. My name is Cicely. Yes,
Cicely,
hi, how are you?
Speak.
Yes,
I'm good,
Andrew.
man.
Andrew, I'm glad to see you are listening to the spirit, because this is the first time I've been on in a while. And I said, I want to speak. And I want to say budum to Dr. Abu. I listen to him every week with Sister Shanice. I listen to him every week on Sister Shanice's show. So budum, and to the rest of the panel. And also, I want to say to you, Sister Phoenix, Sister Cheryl, I will be there in September in Ghana. I've been asked to come and support this community in the Volta region to build a school. But my thing is, I would like to partner with you and support you, what you're doing there, and because I can learn from what you're doing, and we can expand it to where that is in the Volta region. I did send you an email. Your website was not responded. I registered on there and it came up with an error. We know these things happen. So I did send you an email from regardforvirtues@gmail.com, but I will email you from that email and give you my number. But I want to learn from you because you're doing something. I don't believe in reinventing the wheel. I believe on building from there, support, collaborating, coming together. I'm also doing some, I would like to call it conversations in Sogokope in Ghana, and where we can do some of the things that Dr. Abu said, because it's important that we heal from the trauma. It's important.
Absolutely.
So I am, yes, and we must understand, Andrew, that you supported that, because it's a lot, and I've learned so much over the last few months in regards to that, and I'm for it, and I'm supporting it, and anything I can do to help with the trauma. I do metaphysics. I actually in the process of getting my doctorate in metaphysics as a metaphysics. Yes. So and I do many things. I'm an educator. Cheryl, I have a background in special needs, so autism and so on and so forth. So I will help you and support you and be with you in any way that I can, because I plan on staying in Ghana for quite a while and going throughout the continent of Africa. So I'm there, and it's important, like you said, to have both sides. You know, it's good to have someone, it's good to have people in the diaspora, and also to have people in Africa on the ground as well. That's important. Everybody cannot go to Africa. That's not realistic. You have to put a strategy in place. And I feel honored to get a clap from Dr. Abu, because I know he doesn't give those out too often.
No, sister.
Yes, brother.
Don't Dr. Abu. He's not an easy man to please, you know.
I know. So the fact that he clapped for me, I'm like, all right.
Smiling. For the time I see the man smiling tonight, I know we can't be doing bad. Sister,
all right, family.
Thank you so much, beloved. Love your words.
Andrew, I'm on your WhatsApp, so I'll message you, okay? Cicely, I'll message you on WhatsApp so that we can talk. Maybe I'll come on and talk on your show. I'd love to do that. All right? Cheryl, I'll be in touch with you, okay? Be well, everyone. Thank you.
Take care. Okay, I've got a few other people that would like to say a few words. Could you speak now or forever hold your peace? Unmute yourself. Yes.
Greetings. Can you hear me?
Messiah. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, greetings. Where shall I start? Dr. Abu Vodum, greetings, Uncle. Good to see you here on King Andrew show. Sister Cheryl Phoenix, I am so proud. What was it? January, February, March? How much did you say? 6 what? 6, 7 months? My God. So proud of you, sis. So proud of you. And guess what? You've just started. You have just started, you know? So I have a plan also, but you know, I don't want to say it because I just want to do it. So I need your link. Well, I've got your link already, but I need a personal, you know, connect so that when I'm over on the other side too, that we need to just that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying is that I'm coming. Okay. And thank you for this platform again. This platform is more than, let me just cut there and just say thank you for this platform, because you are putting people together. Yeah, you are bringing people together, uniting, you are educating, you are providing and encouraging, and you know, I don't even know what to say. I'm just so overwhelmed with the greatness of what is happening on a Tuesday night.
No, we thank you, sister. You've got a long history of motivating and inspiring our community, sister. We salute you. We know you're one of the real ones. Stay strong, my beloved. Stay strong. Thank you.
Yes.
All right. Moving on.
Love, everybody.
Sisters. One love, Sister Messiah.
Yeah,
Sister Alison.
hi.
Yes, who's next? Who's talking?
Catherine.
Veronica. Is it Veronica?
Hiya. Yes, Veronica here. Veronica
talk
here.
to us, my queen. Talk to us.
Well, I'd love, as the previous speakers have said, I'm just so overwhelmed with what we do on a Tuesday. Because of the Tuesday sessions, I've got my grandsons into your school on a Saturday, because I believe in it wholeheartedly.
Oh, beautiful.
Wholeheartedly. Their grandmother is in Ghana, and she's been in Ghana for over 15 years. She's from Dominica.
Come on,
and she obviously had the foresight way back then to go buy her place, and she's sitting in Ghana right there. And I tell you what, in that lockdown, I was saying to my daughter, I beg you, please, just go to your grannies and just have the kids do the home learning in Ghana. You might as well do that, because why are we sitting here? But you know, my daughter has that syndrome. Somebody said that sort of the UK syndrome. She hasn't. You know, I'm still working on it. Okay, I'm still working.
Yes.
But also when we're talking about the colonialization of the mind, I worked in education. I worked in a university, so I saw the racism just straight out the door. Okay. And also I was also a union rep, because in those kind of places, it's difficult to get to know what's going on in these organizations. So sometimes you have to go into those other organizations so you can see what's going on. And so you have a voice. So that's what I did then. And, you know, within that, that environment, I actually had the opportunity, because I put myself forward, of course, to go to a number of African countries. I've been to Kenya, I've been to Uganda, I've been to Ghana a couple of times, I've been to Gambia, I've been to quite a few African countries. And I do get so frustrated. I mean, the very first time I went with my white mind, I was like, oh, why are they behaving this way? Why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? And then after going quite a few times, I realized that this God thing that they really, really believe in. And I mean, you can go to South Africa and you'll see it there. And it's just wild. And I'm just so happy that Cheryl is over there with the flag. She's there, she's building a school. She just got me so excited. And I just really, really, really can't wait until West Side is going over to Ghana exactly. Whoop, whoop. I mean, I'll be volunteering. I'm just telling you that now. I'll be there. I don't care what you want me to do. I'll do whatever it needs doing. I will be there. So as I said, everybody on the platform, I give thanks for you. You've done so much for us over this lockdown, and everything that everybody's doing is just amazing. And thank you.
Veronica, we thank you. We thank you. We love you, our sister. Stay strong, and please keep supporting this program. You know, big up to all of the other panelists that you spoke about, because we return that same love to you, my queen. I'm going to give one or two more people very last words before we hand back to the panelists. Sister Alison, is there anything you would like to say, Sister Alison?
Hi, good evening, everybody. I'm going to make it real quick. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, good evening, everyone on the panel. Now, Cheryl, I've just written your name down in my phone because there's several things I wanted to say. I wanted to say thank you for bringing the children to the forefront. Thank you for what you're doing over there. I tried to post the links to the PayPal in the chat. And what I'm saying to you is I'm going to resume the work that I took up with you about 18 months ago, but I need direct contact with you. Someone else has mentioned the same thing, because going through the regular channels is not working. I'd like to link you to several UK-based Ghanaians. There's a lady called Sally Bafo who has an Maya Angelou library. I'd like to link you with her. I'd like to tell you that I asked a major UK publishing house for books for St. Vincent, and they sent 1,000 books. Would you like 1,000 books for Ghana, Cheryl?
Woo!
Is she there?
Yes,
Cheryl,
she's there.
would you like
She's here, but
1,000?
she's muted.
Okay,
Yeah,
you let
Cheryl
her
is
know she's
muted.
muted?
Yeah, Cheryl is muted.
Cheryl.
She's still muted.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I was on
now.
mute.
Yeah.
Right, I've got my camera off because I'm doing some housework. Would you like 1,000 books for Ghana, Cheryl?
Of course, we need as many as we can get. Absolutely.
Right, what I'm saying to you is, whether you have the building or not, the books will be coming because you have said that you wanted them, and I'll start the process tomorrow. Okay.
Absolutely. Thank you. So grateful.
Thank you for your humility. That's the H in Cheryl. Thank you for reminding us about education. I also grew up on the white Jesus, and then I was told he was Jewish. So we're not going to go into that tonight. But thank you for the reality, because when I've dated a couple of Ghanaian men, one of them told me if I ever went to Ghana that I would be treated like a queen. When he saw me, he thought, I must be Ghanaian because of the way I'm shaped. It turns out that my great-great-great-grandmother was called Ashanti. So at some point we will be coming to Ghana. I'm just wondering as well, Cheryl, do you still have links with our great friend Black Poppy Rose, Black Rose of Remembrance? Is she still there? Is she working alongside you?
She's still here. She's doing the historical tours and getting the information of those that fought in the wars out here. She's actually not far from where I am, but tomorrow I move, so I'll be 150 miles away, but we still link up every so often. So she's out here, yeah. There's a few people out here. There's about 15 of us out here, people that I don't even see when I'm in the UK, but we've all met up since we've been here.
Right, because I'm in direct contact with her as well, but I just wanted to make sure you guys are still tapping into each other's energy. And with regards to how far we've got children, humility, education, reality, youth, the land, and the library. That spells out Cheryl. Did you realize that? You realize that tonight?
Send that in the chat. I need to see that.
All right, listen carefully. Children, humility, education, reality, youth, the land, and the library. Cheryl.
Wow. Alison. Sister,
and Cheryl, let's pick up where we left off. You know what I'm talking about. Let's pick up where we left off, okay?
All right, no problem.
Let's talk. Last person, Sister Catherine. Sister Catherine.
Yeah, hello family. Where do I start? Cheryl, I'm humbled. I'm rolling like a child here. I think my kids are thinking, what's wrong with mom? I just said, leave me alone. I'm feeding. And my 7-year-old has been in Saturday school, and they did a lot about their history and Ghana and all the colors. And where do I start? I'm just all over the shop. I'm kind of confused now with excitement. That's how you lose your trail of thought, when you're so excited.
Sister,
I just can't wait
just having Dr. Abu on the platform, I'm like a little child in a sweet shop. There's so many sweets to choose from. So what I'm trying to say to you, sister, I know the feeling.
And the Minister of what's the minister again? Minister of the Future.
Minister of the Future, yeah, Baba Nazar.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm looking forward to being in Ghana, Sister Cheryl. I'll have you put in your details. I'll be contacting you when I'm ready, which is very soon.
Whenever you're ready, my numbers are public, so I'll post both of them in the chat, my local number and my UK number. The UK number's on WhatsApp, the local number you can just phone.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you.
Was there anything more, Sister Catherine?
Sorry?
Was there anything more you'd like to say?
Yeah, I'm now going to on a second challenge, which is sharing all this information, trying to bring everybody, say, come on, guys, you're missing out. I can't tell you everything I've learned on the day. It's too much information to share. You need to attend yourselves because I can miss something and you got something else. Let's compare notes and see who's been paying attention. They have to come to classes. They have to. I'll drag them whether they like it or not.
Absolutely, sister. One love to you, Sister Catherine, yeah?
Yeah, thank you. Good night.
Thank you, my queen. Thank you. Brothers and sisters, jeez. You see, Shaitan tried to stop today's meeting. We had to battle, but was it not worth it? Was it not worth it, brothers and sisters? Sometimes God just takes over. Sometimes we plan and God plans. And God is the best of all planners, beloved. And to me, we've had unity here tonight. So listen up. Time is very limited. Brother Nat, could you unmute yourself? In the last, you got 30 seconds, brother. What's your message for the platform tonight? 30, and brother, I want to thank you, King, because like you've been doing Jarita's job, you done my job, and you kept the show going, brother. So I've got to thank you. That's what you call a soldier on a battle line. You just step when you see there's a need, there's a gap. You know what? I ain't gonna make no noise. Brother Andrew, I'll take over on that part there. And I saw that you're organizing behind the scenes donations towards the Black Child Agenda or the Black African Child. I know you've been putting some work behind the scenes, and I thank you for that, brother. But what's your closing words tonight, King?
Well, I've been saying quite often the victory is already here. It's already arrived because the desperation, as they're saying, from what we can see, is just pure distraction. I want to bring back and just land with what Dr. Abu touched on when he gave acknowledgement to his beloved Auntie M.
Oh, wasn't that beautiful, man? That was beautiful.
Of our women, of our sisters. I see it's that the sisters that organized for quickly saying, right, who's the teachers? Who's going to start donating? It's Sister Cheryl right here that's doing the works and giving that impetus to show us that the infrastructure is being built. And the thing that came to mind is, and it's no shade, it's not a negative, but we've heard of our Dr. Umar Johnson, right? And the works that he's doing. And we're all contributing. But what a thing. Look at how Sister Sister Cheryl has just gone over.
6 months.
6 months. 6 months. To be done. So all I can say is find out what your passion is and what your strengths are. And then contact whether we've got even Galaxy. We've got a Galaxy Academy that Sister Shanice has really implemented. Dr. Abu has been over to the Gambia and worked. So we're sport for choice if you really stay plugged in, ironically, to Andrew Mohammed's. Come to Auntie Jean's, come to the Global African Congress. Make sure you tune into Galaxy. That way you're edifying, Africating, and emancipating yourself all in one. So I rise up to my brother who's represented from Dr. Molana, because all that's even more to me thinking, right, how can we connect those dots? So I just landed saying we're connecting there. We're connecting now. I'm going to continue and rise it up on Galaxy from 10 o'clock as I normally do. And I just get the edification here and then I bring it more. So we sharpen our iron and we fill our cup. It's taken from that Bible book, but we know that that's the case. Rise up, Dr. Abu, my brother from Dr. Malana, sister, all the people, and brother Andrew. Give thanks. No one, speaking to other sisters, and they're saying there's no one that's been invited for 3 times on a row. So I feel very
3 times, maybe it looks like it's gonna be a lot more than that, brother. Believe me on that score.
Yeah, and happy Earth Strong to Sister Jurita. What a thing is her Earth Strong today. That's where the energy is really come from. So rise up, and I'm off to radio now. So give thanks, family.
Every time, every time.
Brother Nat. One
bro-
last word, Brother Andrew. Brother Nat.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Brother Nat, you did not tell the team about the writing your history. I've been waiting for you to draw those lines. You didn't drop those bombs.
Of what? The radio history?
No, writing your own history. You know, we talked about that over the weekend.
Generational story.
Yeah, you didn't drop those bombs. Come on.
Need to. There's so much works. It just comes in when it comes in. But yes, I'm recently put out generational stories. I'm gonna be here, so I'll send it. Let me zip it and we're done. But give thanks, my sister.
Oh,
we're moving.
Catherine's not playing. Catherine wants it now. I love that.
Now I want him to share, because the people who attended when he was in that meeting,
Yes,
they're not the same ones today. So that's what I'm trying to remind him.
Yes, my queen. Thank you very much, Sister Catherine.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, my queen. Brother Nazor. Yes, sir. You got 30 seconds, brother. 30 seconds. What's your closing words on behalf of Dr. Malana you would like to say tonight? You got 30 seconds, King. Is it me? Can everyone hear him?
Can't hear him. He might be muted. Is he muted?
Brother, we can't hear you. Speak now, brother.
Yes, now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, great.
Got 30 seconds, bro.
Okay, so I'm going to focus on the Emancipation Day. That is going to be our most recent event, and everybody else is invited. It's on the 1st of August at Asin Manso, where the two descendants of war prisoners, some of us like to call them, or prisoners of war. Some of our brothers and sisters from the diaspora were brought back and reinterred or reburied at Asin Manso. We're going to go on that pilgrimage on the 1st of August. Is the Emancipation Day in Ghana. And we're going to go from Accra to Asin Manso and then to the Cape Coast Dungeon. So yeah, everybody else is invited. That's our next event.
Yes,
our
sir.
office on Spectator Road. You can check us out on the ministryofthefuture.com. I'm going to put it in the chat for anybody to follow.
Please.
So anything that has to do with citizenship in Ghana or Africa, you can consult us. We're grateful for this opportunity. I hope that the next time Dr. Mulana will get the opportunity or time to be with us. And
yes, sir.
We're most grateful for this. This is very encouraging, because some of us, when we are on this side of the world, it's difficult to connect to the rest of the world. I mean, this technology of Zoom is available in Ghana, but it's not as accessible as it may be on the other side. And so we're grateful that
yes, sir.
we're able to take advantage of this technology. Andrew, Brother Nat, Abu, my sister in Cape Coast or Winneba, Cheryl, give thanks.
Give thanks, King. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much. Can I just say happy birthday to Sister Alison, father, who's 80th. So we big up your Earth Strong, King. 80th birthday today, Sister Alison. Much love to that. I must say, brothers and sisters, before I bring on Dr. Abu to say his last words to us, that we've had quite a lot of technical difficulties today. Some people have been asking me in the chat room as well as on my phone that so many people have been trying to get into this event today and been told they can't get in, which I have no idea. We've not gone over 500. Our highest was touching about 380, 390 people. So it looks like for some reason some people have been blocked from coming on tonight. But we know the game. We know the game that they play in. You know what? It's all good. Those who are meant to be here was here. Okay, and just before I bring on Dr. Abu to say his last words and Sister Cheryl, you still there, sister?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right, sister, I'm going to ask you just one or two quick questions, sister. Please give me very short answers, okay, dear? If you can answer these. Sister Hazel's asked the question, where is the school located in Ghana? Quick question, quick answers.
A small town called Gomwa Jukwa, Gomajukwa. It's between Winneba and Swedru.
Thank you. Where, Sister Kaz has asked, where can we send funding for Sister Cheryl's school?
I've got PayPal, which, you know, they take a fee. And then we have our Black Child Agenda direct bank account, which I've put in the chat. I do need to set up a GoFundMe, but I've just been so busy. Funny enough, Mark and Charmaine Simpson are coming out for September because it's my birthday. So we're going to have a blast on the beach. And they said that they want to support and set up a GoFundMe on my behalf.
Okay. Sister Ezzy, I think it's a sister, Ezzy has asked, in future, are you intending to travel between Ghana and UK to support both of your entities?
Yeah, so the Black Child Agenda can never die. As long as I have breath in my body and our children are in their schools, the Black Child Agenda will always continue. What I will do is expand it and the reach and the capacity of the people somewhat. I'm trying to get someone to do one of the worst things I hate, which is funding, but it's our money. So I'm like, okay, I have to succumb so I can bring in a wider team and have them trained up in what they need to do. So the Black Child Agenda will never end and the African Child Agenda will never end.
Okay, sister, we've got someone from Tanzania. I don't know if they say Tanzania or Tanzania. Dr. Boo, don't laugh at me, please. We've got a sister from Tanzania. Let's ask the question. Where can they contact you directly? And they would like to support a program like this in Tanzania.
Is that me?
Say that again?
Is that to me, Cheryl? I thought you said Dr. Abu.
To you. No. Dr. Abu was laughing at me, man. I get embarrassed. So but the question's to you, sister.
I posted my numbers in the chat, my local number and my WhatsApp. So both of them are in the chat. People want to contact me.
And I didn't realize that Brother Mark Simpson is on the platform. I think that's Mark Simpson with Charmaine Simpson. So I want to big up the Black History Studies program. They are my brothers and sisters, and we do a lot of work together. All right then, Dr. Abu, please, what's your closing words to the platform? Today's show was dedicated to you, King. What's your closing words for us today?
We don't give because we have much. We give because we know what it's like not to have. I'll be always there looking out for the have-not. I don't want to join the have club because it's not only have people on this planet. You have those who doesn't have. And just like how we can give voice to the voiceless, you know, give thanks to Sister in Phoenix, what she is doing for those children. Because if you can't invest in our children, then I'm telling you, dog nyam will suffer.
Fantastic. Beautiful, wise words. I love this, brother, man. Straight to the point. Don't play. This doesn't play. Brothers and sisters, before I bring in Sister Cheryl to say her last words, just a quick reminder that next week's show is going to be around sport, our culture, our identity, and our blackness and politics. It's going to be a powerful show next week. We have Troy Townsend, the manager of Kick It Out. We have Brother Michael Johnson, the under-21s coach of England football team. He's going to be with us. And we have Sister Eartha Pond, who is an ex-Arsenal player, Chelsea player, and Tottenham player. And she's a counsellor in the UK. And she's very much on the political and charitable tip. We're going to be busting open what is the Euros and what has happened since the backlash. What should we be talking about? What should we be dealing with? What should be our response? Should we be more proactive and not wait to be called these names? Should we be having our own programs, creating our own future? So that's going to be next week, brothers and sisters. Also, I want to give a shout out to Sister Anne-Marie X and Sister Lorna Mohammed for linking us up because they just returned back from Ghana.
Nice.
And they were the ones that linked us with the Ministry of the Future. Okay, so I want to give them a massive shout out. I want to give out a shout out to Sister Sophia and Brother Kevin for linking us up with Brother Reg and the powerful company that he's put together. So Sister Cheryl Phoenix, what's your last words for us today, my queen? You've been absolutely brilliant.
Boy, I don't even know what to say. Like, do you know what? For those of you that are in England, like, I would say just keep doing the works out there as well. Because as much as I'm out here and as much as I'm doing what I'm doing, our children are there and they need to be protected. With the madness I see going on with these foo-foo people, we need to be even more vigilant and be, like I keep saying, unapologetic when it comes to defending our children. Regardless, like people are like, oh, we can't do violence. Who said who? You're violent. Malcolm X. Malcolm X is what we need to look at. Yeah, when he's, and then also, what's the brother's name? Khalid Muhammad. You know, when we need to look at these guys and actually stop pandering to the nonsense, but at the same time do the work in the background of being able to leave and build legacies for our children. And that's the key thing. It is about our youth because we don't know when our time is up.
Beautiful, beautiful. Brothers and sisters, you heard it from the Queen today, the keynote speaker, Sister Cheryl Phoenix of the Black Child Agenda and now the African Child Agenda. Brothers and sisters, she has landed in a country, yeah, where she didn't really know too tough. She returned back to her land. And within 6 to 7 months, look what that sister's done. What can we do if we stop complaining? What could we do if we stop creating alibis and excuses? What can we do when we put our minds together and really say, you know what, enough is enough. Enough is enough. I'm going to use my life, my skills and my power to turn things around. I want to give a special thank you to my daughter, China, who's been putting on the links today. Sister China, we love you. We thank you for the works that you're doing, keeping us all updated with the websites and various information. So Sister China, we thank you for doing that work. Brothers and sisters, you know we normally bust into the music part of our program, but today Papa G can't do that today. So we've still got over 340 of you on the platform. And I'll have to say to you, brothers and sisters, that, you know, we thank you on behalf of myself, Dr. Abu, Sister Cheryl, Brother Nat, Brother Nazur. We thank you for spending time with us tonight and we honor you. And remember, you're not black because you're cursed. You're black because you're first. Never apologize for who you are. You are the first people of the first frequency of the first thought in the universe. Yeah? So brothers and sisters, we thank you so much. And I greet you in the greeting words of peace and of paradise. Assalamu alaikum. Black power.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.